deep humming noise, only recognizable by few people, but penetrating enough to cause stress, sleeplessness, and even physical issues. Sounds like something out of a science fiction story, doesn't it? But for some people in the small town of Taos, New Mexico, this noise is their daily companion. Since the early 1990s, residents and visitors have reported a constant, low-pitched hum that only around 2% of the local population were able to hear. Those affected describe it as a combination of a distant diesel engine and the buzzing of a swarm of bees, a sound that can be both irritating and hypnotic. In the scientific community, the phenomenon known as Taos hum has generated a great deal of interest. From acoustic engineers studying the entire frequency spectrum to medical experts evaluating the potential health effects, to psychologists analyzing human perception of the phenomenon, the question remains: what is behind this mysterious buzzing? It all began in the early 1990s, when residents of the small town of Taos in New Mexico began reporting a mysterious, deep humming sound. Initially dismissed as a local curiosity, the phenomenon quickly attracted the attention of the national media. In 1993, even the US Congress got involved, commissioning scientists to investigate the phenomenon and providing a budget of around $100,000 for research purposes. Despite a series of measurements and analyses, no specific source for the noise could be identified. However, the media attention brought numerous experts into play. Acoustic engineers, epidemiologists, and psychologists traveled to Taos to analyze the noise using state-of-the-art instruments. Measurements were taken that examined both infrasound and ultrasound frequencies. They came to the conclusion that the noise is in a very low frequency range, between 30 and 80 Hz. These frequencies are difficult for the human ear to detect and are at the lower end of the hearing range. One of the most fascinating facts about the so-called Taos hum is its selective perceptibility. Not everyone can hear it. Even in affected households, often only one individual family member reports hearing the sound. This has led to a number of theories about human perception, including the possibility that certain people may have an increased sensitivity to low-frequency sounds. This elusive hum remains a mystery that baffles not only the inhabitants of Taos, but also the scientists trying to decipher it. It is a constant enigma, a scientific challenge, and, for those who can hear it, an everyday reality. Among the best-known investigations were researches done by institutes like Los Alamos National Laboratory and researchers by the University of New Mexico. These studies recorded a wide range of frequencies and attempted to localize the sound, both in the air and in the ground. But no definitive source could be identified. This inability to find a clear cause has led to numerous theories, ranging from military experiments to natural geological processes. Some speculate that the low frequency of the Taos hum could originate from underground water masses, tectonic activity, or even distant industrial facilities. Other theories propose that the phenomenon is a form of acoustic pollution, possibly caused by modern technologies, such as cell phone towers or wind turbines. In addition to the acoustic studies, medical studies have also been carried out. Various research teams have studied the psychological and physical effects of Taos hum on those who claim to hear it. Some of the symptoms reported include insomnia, headaches, and even balance problems. Some studies suggest that the symptoms could be caused by the low frequency of the sound, although this has not been clearly proven. Interestingly, neuroscience has also found its way into the study of the Taos hum. Some researchers suspect that the perception of the sound is not only related to acoustics, but also to the individual neuronal processing of sound in general. This could explain why only a small number of people are even able to hear the hum. One of the biggest mysteries surrounding the Taos hum is the question of why only a small percentage of the population is able to perceive the sound. What distinguishes these people from others? Science has approached this question in many ways. Early studies focused on the physical characteristics of the ear, using audiograms and other hearing tests to determine whether people who hear the hum have special auditory abilities. Surprisingly, no significant differences were found. However, research has not stopped there. Recent studies suggest that the perception of the Taos hum has less to do with the anatomy of the ear itself and more to do with the processing of sound information in the brain. Studies using imaging techniques such as fMRI, which stands for Functional Magnetic Resonance Imaging, have shown that in people who hear the hum, specific areas of the brain are activated that are dormant in other people. This suggests that the individual neuronal circuit structure could play a role in the perception of the Taos hum. What's more complicated is that there is evidence that environmental factors such as the time of day, weather conditions, and even geographical location can have an impact on the perception of the Taos hum. Some reports suggest that the sound is louder in the evening hours and less perceptible during certain weather conditions, such as strong winds or rain. Taken together, these multi-layered findings offer a complex picture of the factors that could contribute to the perception of the Taos hum. They also reveal the depth of the mystery that continues to intrigue and perplex scientists. Despite advances in the study of the phenomenon, the answer to the question of why only some can hear the Taos hum remains one of the greatest mysteries in the world of acoustics and sensory science. The question of the source of the Taos hum has not only inspired scientific research, but also a multitude of theories and hypotheses, ranging from the plausible to the downright fantastic. There is speculation that the mysterious buzzing could be the result of secret government experiments or military technologies, such as HAARP, which is an acronym for High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program. Although these ideas are popular, there is still a lack of solid evidence. There is also a theory that a natural phenomenon such as an earthquake or volcanic activity could generate the hum. In fact, similar noises have been reported in areas with high seismic activity. However, researchers have argued that the geological conditions in Taos are not consistent with these natural phenomena, making this theory less likely. There are also scientific theories that attribute an anthropogenic origin to the Taos hum. These include activities such as mining, transportation, or industrial plants. However, these theories have the same problem as many others. They cannot explain the selective perception of the noise, as in such cases a wider population should be affected. But the speculation does not end there. Some have even considered the possibility that the Taos hum is a manifestation of a previously unknown phenomenon, possibly originating from outer space. Although intriguing, this idea, like many others, lacks empirical evidence. Well, regardless of which theory one prefers, it is clear that the Taos hum presents a unique challenge for scientists. It is a complex phenomenon that challenges both our ideas about the physics of sound and of how human perception works in general. The numerous and often contradictory theories reflect the depth of this puzzle and the challenges that lie ahead to solve it.